It's fun. That means we're going to have to splice those together. Okay, so that's what happens when you mess with things. Not supposed to. I forgot to turn off a timer I had, and it was going to just keep buzzing, and so that's okay. We'll just splice it together. It's not that much, but I was saying stuff that's kind of relevant, and so I want to make sure that y'all get that information. So if you're watching this to like glean any secrets, you get said secrets. Precious. All right. So, and this is probably the lengthiest part. I don't rush the actual mending part because I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what's going to work best. I don't know. But I just kind of go with whatever the fabric says it wants to do, and we call it good. So now this here is backstitched, is what that is. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep doing that. And a backstitch is, it's close to what a sewing machine is doing in terms of strength. It's not the same action because it's actually called a lock stitch, but it is really close, and then it makes it nice and sturdy. So and my visible mending, it is a combination of a couple of different techniques. It's not strictly sashiko, it's not strictly visible. There's absolutely elements of just running stitch, which is also called the rice stitch, and then crosses, and then X's, and then actual, we've got some actual patterns, some traditional Japanese patterns in here. But I don't use necessarily what's traditional as far as materials. Now, in the defense of that, what is traditionally used is what's available, right? And when this art form started, what was available was very specific things. And like, this is a different time, this is a different era. And so what's going to be available to me where I am, not just like availability wise, but budget wise, is going to be different than what's available to somebody else. So I happen to be an embroiderer. I happen to be a seamstress. So I have lots of different colors that I have access to because I have leftovers. Like what's in this, and oh yeah, you missed that. Let's take a pause. I organized my threads. So last time you saw this thread box opened, right, it was a mess. But I've since organized it. I've wound everything down the side. It's all neat and nice. And it's a lot more pleasant. And when I go to take thread off, it's gonna be a lot nicer because it won't be a tangled, jumbled mess. Oh no. But I think it's important to honor the specific reasons things are done and understand how those might apply or not apply to what you're doing now. I try to salvage as much as I can. I don't buy thread to use for this, generally speaking. And if I do, it is actually traditional thread, which I have somewhere around here. It's gone. I was doing a bunch of recording today for the Patreon, and we're gonna get back to that as soon as this is over. What do you call it? Camera battery willing. So and it's much easier to do like tighter curves and stuff like that and lines with shorter stitches. So that's what we're doing right now. So this right here is more of an embroidery technique than anything else. Now, you see we're almost out, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stitch this off. So that it won't come out. All right, now sometimes it doesn't work, and this is also where I do a lot of improvisation, like what's going to work with what I'm doing, what's going to make the most sense. What I don't want is I don't want this patch coming out, so I'm going to be okay with knotting this because I'm not gonna notice it, right? But you see that got this little squiggle going on. Yeah. Also, I don't know when this video is going to get up. I have to renew a subscription on a video editor that I use. I didn't get all the videos edited that I had to edit before this. So I'm gonna have to do all this first before I get to these new ones because preference. So just bear with me. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this here. And I'm going to do this here because this is going to be filled with this seed stitch, and I'd rather the seed stitch be a little thicker than the outlining stitch. Okay. So what we're going to do is just do this. We'll probably do two. That's one. Yeah, we're, oh my goodness. Oh. Let's see, make sure that this isn't going to go pull through. Yeah, and that's all I want. I just want to make sure it's not going to go through the other side of the fabric until I'm good and damn ready for it to. Okay, so we're gonna, now the line actually goes here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna alter this line a little bit. Like I said, I don't need this super, super dark. I just need it dark enough for me to be able to see like what I'm doing. That is it. Now I've got Running Up That Hill playing in my head. So now, like I said, I'm just doing this on the denim part. I don't want to go up here with this. And that's because I'm going to do something different on the denim think I said I'm going to do yellow. I thought I was doing yellow, but I might be doing orange here. I can't remember, and I've changed my mind a couple of times. So yes. And the goal is to do this for like an hour. I don't know, based on my... Actually, I should open this up. I don't know, based on my camera battery, how close to that we're actually going to get. But when I get to like 20 or so % on my battery, we're going to stop no matter what, if I can manage it. Because I still have more recording to do. And I need my battery to work for that. Yeah. I know. It's amazing. So... All right, so again, we're going to take a moment to just underline all these places that I want to be going. And as you've heard me say, this is part of why I don't use a hoop. The amount of manipulation of fabric that I'm doing requires me to have the flexibility of not having it stretched on a static plane. But like for some people, that's not how they stitch. And so whatever works for you is what you should do. I am a big proponent of what works for you. I think it's really important to understand why you would make a certain choice. But if something is not in your ability set for whatever reason, then I don't think that that means you can't do something. I think that just means you need to adapt what you're doing, or adapt how you're doing it. And I think that's okay. Okay, so now we are running out of like what I have, what I can see, so we're going to do this again. And it's okay to like go over these lines, because you know all this manipulation is gonna fade some of them, and that's okay. I just really need to be able to see the next step. Now, mind you, this is after trying like chalk pens and you know, pencils that are made to like, oh no, write on fabric. What I found is that for me, I still had like a lot of trouble either seeing it or getting it off of the fabric. And there are people who just use pencil, and there are people who use straight up just ink pens, like ballpoint pens. If you're happy with what it does and how it turns out, go for it. So, we're back to class tomorrow. Finally. Yeah, class keeps getting delayed, just for one reason or another. Which isn't a big deal to me. It does mean we're going to be graduating like later and later and later, which sucks. But I can't do anything about that, so that's it. And for most things, I'm like, well, okay, that's what we're doing. And that's it. Like, that's it, where I am with it. I try not to worry about things I can't do anything about. That just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Like, I have a really limited amount of energy and like time that I can spend doing things, and I cannot devote it to stuff that does not matter. So if I put time and energy into something, it's important enough for me to pay attention to. Other than that, me. And this is what that looks like on the inside, right? So we got a nice little curvature going on here. All right, so now we're getting to the point where it's going to be harder and harder to see. So I'm only really trying to go to here. The edge of the patch goes all the way over to here though. And so I'm going to stop this decorative stitching right here, but I'm probably going to pick it up over here. Okay. And that's just because this is done, not through all the way here, but that's done. And I'm only worried about getting to this point. So what I will do is I will basically snip the thread when we get about here. And that's just like, that is a solid design choice that I'm making. And yeah. So here we go. Now I might work till 9 o'clock. That means we've got half an hour, which is not going to quite be an hour. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Basically because I have other things I need to do. And I want to get as much done as possible because there's going to be certain things I'm not going to be able to do. And so I also have to eat today. I haven't eaten yet. So let's see what happens. I'm going to see if I can do something. We're going to edit something. I don't think I can do anything here. Oh, I can't. Oh, that sucks. Nope. Okay. We might try streaming under art and see what happens. I know there's a lot more people in art than there are crafters. So I don't know if we'll get some better traction over there. No, I don't see anything. Okay, I might have to change it after the fact. Okay, so right now we're at this point I'm winging it as far as where the squiggle is going. Mostly because I have to. Hold on. We're multitasking. Let's see what happens if I do this. Boom! Alright, no, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Let's try this. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, people. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Quick actions. Nope. 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 No, I don't think I can do anything. No, I can't. I can't. What's this? Oh, maybe this is what I want to do. Okay, let's see what happens if I do this. Hold on. We're going to try and change it midstream. See what happens. Okay. Done. Let's see what happens now. Okay. Let's see if we suddenly get more people in here. I don't know. We're about to find out, right? Where did a needle go? Oh, it's over here, hiding. Hidey ho. Okay, so yeah, at this point I'm winging it with this curve. I'm trying really hard not to stab myself. Yeah, that's the problem with going over this thick a bit of fabric. That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. Okay, so what is going on here? Nobody is loose. But we are going to pull back on this because we don't want it super tight. Like, there's a sweet spot in the thread. If it's too tight, what's going to happen is as it stretches and shrinks and everything like that, you're going to be more likely to have a tear where you don't want it. So having a little give to the stitching is a good idea. So that's okay, that's okay. What I might do is try to stream in the art category all week and see what that does as far as attendance, I guess. Because I'm a textile artist, so it counts. Alright, now we're starting to get hinky dinky. We're almost done because right, you said I'm gonna get to here and then I'm gonna stop this this stitching right here. Okay, I think we're gonna, because it goes a little lower, we're gonna keep taking this curve down here. I've got this weird song from Peppa Pig playing in my head. Jeez. I swear it's not my fault. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a little improvisation and just like double back here. Because why not? All right, so we're going to stop here. And this is where we're going to do that lovely little business. I'm going to do it right here. Even though that's technically outside of the little area that we're stitching, that's fine. It is hot as hell in here, y'all. I turned the AC off, which is funny. I did all this recording this morning with the AC like going on and off, on and off, on and off. Because, you know, it was hot. We're gonna go ahead and do one more because it'll make me feel better. All right, and this right here is an embroidery trick I learned from, I want to say it was Michael Birch. It's a way to tack down stitches without having to make knots. Oops, what did I just drop? I don't know. Okay, so here we go. We've got a nice little squiggle going up here, and we're going to continue it over here. So where all this is here, now we're going to do it here. And I'm going to have to be careful because what's going to happen is we're going to be going really close to the pocket that's on the front right here, and I need to make sure I don't, you know, do something silly like sew through the pocket. Now, an easy way to avoid that, take the pocket, take it out of the pants. That helps. That seems like a really low-tech solution, but it's actually very effective. Now, okay. Like I said, we're only worried about this part right here because this is where the edge of the patch is. And then we've got more right here. Okay, so, right, we're just worried about this right here. Like I said, I'm going to go over it a little more. So that's all I'm worried about. Now, again, we're going to tack this off up here. Just tack it off, just randomly somewhere. It doesn't really matter to me. because I'm still going to do the seed stitch, which is what this filler stitch is right here, afterwards. I do want to make sure that I don't pull this all the way through though, because that I don't want to do. And I usually still leave like a little bit of a tail, just not a huge one, and I hold it. And when I go back through, I'm using the outside as the guide instead of the inside, because what will happen is if I try to line it up on the inside based on what I think I'm looking at, it won't necessarily go where I want it to go. And I've just learned that from doing this. And we're only going to worry about it happening once and twice. So you now have one over there and then that's over there, right? Like that doesn't look like that computes, but that's totally what's happening right there. So now we're going to start our stitching. Oh, bad jokes, y'all. Yeah. Remember, if you do tighter stitches, you can get a nicer curve. And part of where I'm not going to worry about this is because this pocket's going to be sewed up here. So I'm not going to worry about that. And this is just a back stitch to outline the splatter. That's what this is. And all I did was outline it with a little bit of a white gel pen. So it's, as I'm manipulating this fabric, like I'm slowly rubbing it off, which is fine. It just needs to be there long enough for me to like get to where I'm supposed to get. And keep going on. And this is a little more angular over here, and that's fine. It's because these curves are a little tighter, and these stitches are not quite the shortness that they would be to get a better, which is fine. I'm not really worried about that. The general aesthetic is reached, that's fine with me. Alright, so that is enough of this strand. Remember, we don't have to go through all the fabric when we go to tie this off. Like you can just go through, like if you have several layers, you can just go through one. The whole point is that it's not going to go anywhere. That's it. And that's good enough. Okay, so, whoa, come back. So, this is what we've got so far. And we've got a little bit left very important, sharp ass scissors. Very important. I'm gonna go ahead and take some of this out because we don't need this hair down. And sometimes I will take this basting stitching out, and sometimes I won't. It's really a matter of personal preference. I can reuse some of the stuff, and so that's usually what I'm doing. If it's a good enough size piece, as I will reuse it. Again, so we're going to be starting right there, so we're going to go ahead and put this anchoring stitch right here. We're going to do some magic later tonight. Right. Literally, I have a couple of divinations that people are asking for from me. I think, depending on how productive we are for the rest of the evening, we might go ahead and do some of those. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. We haven't had a craft session until we stabbed ourselves. That's cool. That's how you know you're sewing. You've stabbed yourself at least once. It's also how you know your tools are nice and sharp. Didn't even feel that. So now that I've anchored that stitch, we can go about doing the rest of this outline. I'm going to try to be a little more conscientious to the rest of this. Making the stitches smaller. I swear it was like 5 o'clock not too long ago, and now it's almost 9. None of my videos were that long either. Silly rabbit. I don't know what we're going to do after I finish this little area. I don't know if I'm going to try and seed stitch the rest of this before we switch colors or what. I don't know yet. Yeah, I kind of work based on how I feel. And so if I'm not feeling it, then I'm not doing it. It's got its benefits and its drawbacks, for sure. It means if I'm having a particularly bad, like, mental health day, it means I'm probably not going to get anything done. But, thanks to ADD, if I'm having a particularly bad day, I'm probably not going to get anything done anyway. Yeah, because my focus is going to be like, nope. So, that is a thing. Now you see the difference on that curve. That's a much nicer curve, and this is not so much. That's okay though, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. The reality is I'm probably going to have to redo some of this anyway. Like, I'm going to be mending and remending and mending and remending. You know, these general areas over and over again, just because these are high wear areas. And that's how that works. So, theoretically, a good mend is not gonna be something that you have to do often. But I gotta tell you, I wear the living hell out of these pants, so there's that. And what I'm choosing to mend them with and how also is like determining the life of the mend. And for me, that's fine. You're just gonna get to borrow faster. That's really all that's gonna happen. I'm not upset about that. So that's fine. Now, I don't know when this video is going to go up because I need to splice it with the one before it. And it's not that long, but I don't, like I said earlier, I don't have my splicing subscription open right now. Like, I just need to redo it. That whole no day job kind of put a kink in that. There's a couple other things that did too. That's okay though. I already knew that was going to happen. And I'm not overly worried about it because, like I said, I don't worry about a lot of things. Like, if I can't do something about it, there's no point in me worrying about it. Alright, so now we're down to about this last big curve right here. Okay, so this is where we gotta be really careful because we're going through a lot of fabric right there. And it's gonna be really easy to just slice this through my hand if I don't proceed with a degree of caution. And this is why we don't rush a mend. Okay, so now I am right-handed, so it is not normal for me to choose to use my left hand. However, we kind of adapt our movements to fit whatever works and whatever I need to do. All right, now, and that's, you see where we're going to end it right about here. I'm going to go ahead and I think what we're going to do is, we're not down to the 20% mark yet. We're going to go ahead and go ahead and do this filler stitch right now. And it's just going to go wherever. I'm not going in any kind of pattern, just wherever the hell over. Now I'm going to move in this general direction, right? But that's as close to a pattern as I'm going to get. And what this is going to do is it's going to stretch the stitches. These aren't any kind of uniform, and they're not meant to be. And I'm kind of going like all over the place with them. So, yeah, we're just kind of willy-nilly doing this stuff. And this is a little less compacted than these are, but that's okay. And it's not to say I can't like go through them and make them closer together. Absolutely can do that. Okay, so we've gotten a lot of this done. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and finish this one off here, because what's gonna be left is this, and this is probably gonna have next to no anything up here because there's so much. There's so much, right? There's too much fabric up there. So probably what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this right here like this, and I don't know what I'm gonna do about here, because this is a lot of fabric up here as well, and that is just gonna be really difficult to sew through. So I might do a different design up here, because I don't think I'm going to do the filler here. Like, I don't think so, because I'm going to do some design, which is probably just going to be this running stitch here and here. And maybe I will just do like straight pointed lines here. I don't know. But we're going to call this good for tonight. I like to get these sections, and I got through all this, and I got through that. And yeah, like there's so much fabric right here. I'm not going to worry about it. But thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out while I worked on this. I appreciate your interest, and anybody who stops by later and sees the replay, thanks. I should be back tomorrow. I don't know when I'm going to be back tomorrow, though, because I have class. And I don't know when class is going to end. So what's probably going to happen is I'm going to cancel my schedule for Tuesdays and Thursdays as soon as I'm done with this. And just leave Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Well, Monday, Wednesday. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday up. And I'll show up on Tuesdays, Thursdays after class, whatever that is, which might be really close to 8, or it might be closer to 9 or 10. I don't know, but I don't want to say I'm going to do something and then I'm not able to do it. So, all right. Well, have a good night, my little railings, and I am going to scoot off because I have more recording that I want to get done. And if nothing else, what I definitely want to do is get some more copy drafted so that I can do more recording tomorrow. So, toodles! Bear with me. We're adjusting things. Okay, so we're gonna go just a little bit, see how this goes. Hooray! Hooray, we made it. It's Monday, right? It's Monday. I hope it's Monday. Good, it's Monday. It's Monday means we're not late for class. Oh, hold on. See if we can zoom out just a little bit and see what that does. Because what we want to do is we want to be able to get all of this on here. So, we're going to be constructive today. That's the goal of the day, is to be as constructive as possible. You know, it'd be awesome if I knew where my... Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. We're going to be as constructive as possible. So, it has been a long weekend, and it has been punctuated with just some not great, some neutral, some, that's not what I meant to do, and just various things like that. And, you know, that's kind of how it is, right? Whatever. You know. No big deal. So what we're going to do is we have been working on these for, like, what? How many sessions? I don't even know at this point. A lot, though. Several. Because we've had to take these out, take this out, take that out, just we've had to do a lot, and it's not culminated in looking like we've done a lot as far as getting things done. But now we're to the point where we can do the decorative stitching. So that's cool. Hooray. So yeah, that's exciting. And we've got some plans for it. So we have placed the backing fabric. We have placed the patching fabric. And now all I have to, and we have basted and everything and all that jazz. And now all I have to do is actually do the decorative stitching. Now, when it comes down to here, we're just going to do things like this. Nothing fancy. Because you're not going to see it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Up here is really where I want to concentrate on it being decorative, though. And we're going to continue this kind of loopity-doopity-doo over there. So, I'm trying to think of what I'm going to start first. Because I already have this needle threaded. And so we've got a red. And like, it's actually technically a variegated red, which is fun. And then we've got this color right here. And I think I'm going to go with like almost a black. Not a black, but like a really dark color after this. So this is what we are working with. So here we are, getting started, and what I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and snip this so it's even, so I don't pull through threads that don't need to be pulled through, and I don't pull out threads that needed to stay on the other side, basically is what we're going to do. So that's all even and nice and neat. And we're just going to tack it down like we've been doing. Yeah, I think so. I know what I wanted to do is I wanted to keep this area right here one color, and then make this area up here another color. And what I'm doing is I'm focusing this on the denim part, not this part. This is going to be something else. So that's going to be a lot of it's going to be a lot of other stuff. Now, in the interest of making this easier on me, let's see. I don't usually always mark anything. I found that I really like these white gel pens though, because it's not so obvious that if I miss a stitch, it's going to matter. But it's not so faint that I can't see it at all. So like, that'll make that go away. That's just kind of a basic start. So, and this is where having a sharp ass needle is going to like be helpful, because what's going to happen is you're going to have to go through all of this fabric, and it's not going to be easy to do. Oh no, it's not going to be easy to do if your needle's not super fucking sharp. So I completely forgot that I need to I don't know if this is gonna happen. If this cuts it off, I'll come right back.